I'm gonna be as transparent with you as possible right now. This is definitely the spirit speaks. I did not deserve the behavior that I received. I didn't. I didn't. And it behooved me until like in the last year or so, more in the last couple of months, but in the last year or so, I realized why it's happened. And it doesn't erase it, it doesn't change it. Um, it explains it not very well, but it makes me understand. Okay, at least there's a purpose for this pain. You understand? There's a reason I went through what I went through, and I didn't just God wasn't just like a big fucking kid with a magnifying glass just burning me everywhere I went. Because I even as a young kid I always cared about people's feelings. I did. I always cared about people's feelings. I did try my best. I wasn't a bad kid, but if I was gonna get my ass whooped, I'm a lie. Mother's like, "Oh, you're not supposed to lie." My parents weren't like me. What I used to say to Jaden was, "You don't lie, you won't get punished. You tell me the truth, we'll be good. I we'll talk about this, but you'll be good." So that was it. And he would tell me the truth, and we were good. We would have our conversations. I would explain to him why it wasn't right, and he wouldn't do it again. I have really good boys, so I could do that. Not all y'all can do that with your kids because your kids are crazy, but no judgment. But with my parents, it was you tell me the truth, you get your ass whooped. You gonna get your ass whooped, and not like how we whoop our kids now, where we just maybe just like smack them on the butt and all this other stuff, and everybody wants to call child services. No, there was a belt. There was a specific belt that hung in my fucking parents' room. It was right. It was right on the wall, and I would look at it, and you would have to pass it to go into the kitchen. It was the most horrifying thing you could do to a child. So if you're doing that, please stop hitting your kids. No judgment, but please stop hitting your kids. It doesn't make them better. It makes them scared. Because I was just scared. I didn't want to tell anybody anything. And I was already a Scorpio. I didn't want to tell anybody anything. I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to jump. This is why I have problems jumping now. I didn't want to jump. I didn't want to fall. I didn't want to move because I was just like, my whole brain was just don't get your ass whooped. It sounds horrible, and the fact that I'm laughing is like really healed for me because it's usually before I'd be like, oh, you understand? And there's a lot of people who are watching this video that understand exactly what the fuck I'm talking about because the parents of this day and age isn't the parents that we grew up with. It wasn't. They weren't. And I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about my group. That wasn't the parents that we grew up with. And there was a lot of alcoholism. Not saying that there might still be, but where my place was, there was a lot of alcoholism, not so much drugs because I think cocaine was expensive. I don't know. I was a kid. All I know, I don't know. But alcohol was the drug of choice in my neighborhood. It's like, and you saw it because there were empty bottles everywhere. But I digress. But yeah, so realizing that I didn't deserve what I got. Like I didn't deserve what I got. I didn't deserve the betrayal that I got. And it hurt. It hurts. And this is for someone who's sitting watching me right now and you're crying. I know it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts doing everything right and it's still not enough. That's the most hurtful pain you can experience. And you know how I know? Because I've experienced it. I can talk to you about it. I can talk you off a ledge. I can tell you why it's happening and we can clear that shit up because it's it's hurtful. Like I can feel it, but I can't feel it because it's like it's no longer attached to me. It's part of the story. It's like watching a movie. It's part of the story, but it's not me. Does that make sense? And the the most important thing that I realized when I healed from that was that they're a fucked up person. They ain't a goddamn thing wrong with you. You understand? And I was like, because I had to sit down with it. I had to sit down with it. I had to sit down with my 35-year-old self and be like, yo, bitch, what's going on? And there is like, well, they doing this, and this. And I'm like, that sucks. The first thing you need to do is acknowledge that it sucks. Stop trying to get over things so fast. You know how I know that? Because that's what I did. I just kept trying to get over it because they didn't fix it. None of the people ever fixed what they broke. They didn't fix the relationship.